What did you take away from the Miami game as far as the blocking and that type of thing?
Well, I think the biggest thing is we have got to get better at fitting on backers, do a better job in protection on 4 week, being able to handle that better and make sure that we're giving our quarterback time. We had a few busts with some situations where the backers were walking in and out that we shouldn't have had, and that's what we got to get better at, making sure we handle that better.
How difficult is that for young players, like a Braun or a Brian or that?
Well, it's not that. Once you get a base rule, you just go by your base rule. But I think the plan of calling the plays at the line was that was something new for a young kid. Because we practiced it all week and we had practiced it before, but it happens pretty quick, and then you got to diagnose the look, and then they're stemming the looks, and I'm sure that that wasn't easy for them, and that's what we got to get better at. But the bottom line is it was good because it was very effective, because Coach Johnson could put us in a good play, and that's why we were able to move the football, and because he was able to see what he needed to see to find where to put us in the play that we needed to be in.
Do you look at the stat sheet and say, hey, wow, we really rolled up some yards on the ground, and,
yeah,
we really weren't doing everything we were supposed to be doing, so you must...
That just tells you a little bit about the scheme and the numbers and Coach Johnson, because if we were more effective blocking them, we could have rolled up more yardage. We would not have had to even rely on even doing some of the things we had to do in the throwing game. Got behind the chains several times, lost yardage plays, things like that we shouldn't have had, because all we had to do was block the guy and make sure that we didn't have a missed assignment or something like that. So that's probably been the number one thing glaring, is we found a way for Georgia Tech to beat Georgia Tech, and that hurts. When you lose, when Georgia Tech beats Georgia Tech, that's when it really hurts. And either in our group with penalties, killed 2 drives. We ran a sweep out the front side on our sideline and gained a first down, and it would have kept the ball moving, and we have a holding penalty. And then the holding penalty on the pass, we got the ball on the 9-yard line. So, that's at least 3 points. With a guy like Harrison, he's, you got a good shot at getting at least 3, but you got to think your odds are pretty good when you're inside the red zone. We were 3 for 3 in the red zone as an offense. So, I think that's probably it in a nutshell. That's what you got to be able to execute.
On the first fumble, when the linebacker walked up, we've got some conflicting answers to this question. That he was somebody's responsibility to block. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. It was a missed assignment or a miscommunication.
Miscommunication. Yeah, we didn't get it communicated. We had to change the protection, but it can be adjusted.
Whose call is that? Justin's call, or is it the line call?
It's not Justin's call. It's the line has to be able to slide the protection, and we would have to be able to change the protection from a base 5-man protection to slide it to the most dangerous players. And that's on us. Us as coaches, because we didn't get it communicated. They didn't have it, so that's on us. But the bottom line is we have it in our scheme. It's real simple. It's just they've got to execute it. If a guy walks up here, they were basically fanning on the backside for a guy. If a guy walks up here, then the guard and the tackle had to slide. The guard and the center had to slide weak, and the guard and tackle had to slide weak, and we wouldn't have that guy off the backside. We might have got a guy off the front side, but it'd been in the quarterback space.
Which you would prefer that as opposed to coming from behind.
Yeah, but it happened, and it happened quick, and obviously they weren't prepared for it, so that's on us. So we got to get them prepared for it, and we can't have that mistake hit us again.
Anything else for Coach West?
When a guy like Mills gets going like he does and, has 19 carries, starts rolling up the yards, I imagine that gives the line a little extra incentive up front, knowing that he's going to, be knocking some people over and hitting the hole, that type of thing.
Well, I think that's, the key to the whole deal, this offense, is you got to establish the fullback. And, Coach Johnson always finds ways to run the fullback, either inside or on the perimeter. I mean, we won the Boston College game with a sweep with him on the last play. I mean, so he's finding ways to get the ball to him, either our speed option game or whatever. But, yes, if we can establish our fullback, our B-back, then we've got something, it slows people down. Once you start hitting them up inside, it slows them down. It helps you get the ball on the perimeter. It's just like it all fits as a puzzle and helps you.
Was Shamir available after he was taken out?
He was not available.
I don't. Okay.
He was hurt, so he wasn't available.
All right.